So today I'm going to be talking about the second Exodus, and it absolutely aligns with Ezekiel 20. Let's break this down carefully and with clarity. The second Exodus is when Yahuwah will once again gather his people, not just from Egypt, but from all nations where they've been scattered, just as he did in the days of Moses, but on a much greater scale. Will involve a divine calling out of bondage, a wilderness season where he will purify, prepare, and reestablish his covenant with his remnant. Ezekiel 20:33 through 38 summarizes the Exodus. And it says, "And I will bring you into the wilderness of the peoples, and there I will plead with you face to face, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness land of Egypt. So I will plead with you, declares Yahuwah Elohim." It's clearly about a future Egypt, not ancient Egypt. It is a future of prophetic events. Yahuwah is saying he will gather his people, bring them into the wilderness, plead with them face to face, purge out the rebels before entering the promised land. A spiritual reset. What looks like the end is really and truly the beginning. Not just deliverance, but refinement and restoration of covenant. This pleading face to face in Ezekiel 20 is deeply connected to purification and covenant, but it's a process that has layers both before and at his second coming. This preparation is a purification of the return of Yahushua HaMashiach. Before Yahushua returns in glory, there is a purification that is happening spiritually and prophetically. And Malachi 3:2-3 says, he is like a refiner's fire and like fuller's soap. He will purify the sons of Levi and refine them like gold and silver. Revelation 19:7 speaks of the bride. For the marriage of the Lamb has come and the bride has made herself ready. This means there is a remnant of people being refined as I speak to respond to the call of repentance, of covenant restoration, and walking in set apartness. That's part of what many who have awakened out of their slumber in Isaiah, I believe 53, don't quote me on that one, but have been preparing for this event. The wilderness pleading in this verse it's more of a future event before entering the land. In Ezekiel 20, the pleading of the wilderness resembles the Exodus. It's a final confrontation and separation moment where the restored remnant enters the promises, both spiritual and physical. It's more of a land inheritance, a kingdom reign. And Ezekiel 20 verse 38 says, "And I will purge out of among you the rebels." So while many are being purified now and have been in the process of preparation, a final refining and separation is still ahead. A moment of face-to-face reckoning with the Ruach and with Yahuwah, like he did with Israel in the wilderness. At his return, which is the final judgment of glory, when Yahushua returns for the second coming, he executes judgment in Matthew 25, sheep versus goats. And in Matthew 24, verse 31, you can reference that as well. He fully restores and reigns with his purified bride. But then the bride will have been made ready through trial, separation, repentance, and love. This is why purification is not only an event, but a season or seasons of preparation. This is why the warnings have been coming out. Yahuwah has been warning his people, and those with ears to hear are returning to covenant obedience, keeping his commands, feast and Sabbath, set apartness from the world in false religion and false systems of the world. The true name and identity of Yahuwah and Yahusha, not the watered down version passed down by man-made systems and translations. This is why the name has been revealing to many people in this hour. This is the refining fire in Malachi 3, the restoration of paths to dwell in, and Isaiah 58 verse 12, and the awakening of the dry bones. Ezekiel 37 is happening now. Obedience is the seal of the remnant. This is not just about beliefs with lips, but obedience from the heart. Not everyone who says to me, Master, Master, will enter the kingdom, but he who does the will of my Father. Matthew 7:21. Those who say they believe but don't obey will not be protected as the same way as the true remnant, Yasharal. They may not be left behind, but they will go through a different preparation. They will have to go through tribulation, level of judgment, because they refuse to obey and refuse correction. A part of the process of the remnant who is obeying covenant and Torah and the Sabbath and obeying with their true heart of a relationship with Yahuwah and Yahusha, those are the remnant that will be considered hidden from this physical battle and wars and climate that is to come. And this lines up with prophetic patterns. In Revelation 12:6 and 14, the women that is described that goes into a place of safety in the wilderness, this is that revelation. In Isaiah 26:20 through 21, come, my people, enter your chambers, hide yourselves until the indignation is past. So those wakened in covenant are set apart and protected, not raptured away into the clouds, but hidden and shielded and preserved, while others are exposed to judgment and war. I hope this brought enlightenment to those listening. I know it did for me, because there was pieces of this that I was missing, and I praise Yahuwah for continuing to lighten me to help those that are walking in covenant and relationship and praying in secret places to the Most High. Joy, peace, and love be with you all. Shalom. Until next time.